So from here we are going to discuss about the copper nickel sulfide deposit. Copper nickel sulfide deposit, right? So the main focus is to complete at least the important part, that is the copper nickel sulfide deposit and the pegmatite deposit and diamond deposit remaining there. Diamond and pegmatite remaining there. At least I have to focus the main part. So these are the magmatic processes. Okay. Then gradually I will move towards the sedimentary, then the metamorphic. Okay. So we discuss about the marine reef, that how the chromite is associated with the marine reef in the basal part of the gabbro, right? In between gabbro and petrotite transition zone, there will be the chromite deposit. Okay? Be it stratiform, be it 44. So 44 is the ophiolite-hosted chromite deposit. We already discussed, right? So this is the Merensky reef sample, okay, collected from the Merensky, and these are, you can see, these are the various type of chromite, right? Chromium metal is there and anorthosite. So that's why I always say these are the anorthositic complexes in the Merensky is there. So anorthosite hosted chromite deposit is there. Okay. So and also I discussed that PGE mineralization is also associated with the chromite, either be chromite, okay, or PGE mineralization. It cannot be occur like in a separate metal. It can be possible that it can be occur the outside of the ultramafic complex or ultrabasic complex, but almost time the PG mineralization happen associated with the either be chromite, okay, or be the copper nickel sulfide deposit. That's why Merensky reef is important. That you can see the pyrrhotite, okay. So these are the pyrrhotite complexes is there and PG mineralization. Okay, that's why I always say PGE is always be associated with the ultramafic complexes और the chromite complexes. ठीक है, ये हो गया एक part. And the another part is it associated with the copper nickel sulfide deposit. ठीक है, you can see the pyrrhotite, right? It is associated with the pyrrhotite complex. So the pyrrhotite form in the very high temperature. ठीक है, pyrrhotite forms. Let me add some more pages so that I can write properly. Okay, so pyrrhotite forms at the very high temperature. Forms at high temperature. Okay, this is hypothermal temperature condition. Hypothermal deposit, pyrrhotite, right? Hypothermal condition. Greater than 700 to 900 degrees centigrade, it is stable. But if you look at the pyrite, okay, pyrite stable at very low to medium, intermediate, you can say the mesothermal. Mesothermal is the better nomenclature for the pyrrhotite. So pyrrhotite stable at the mesothermal temperature condition. Mesothermal, that is approximately you can say 300 to 500, or sometimes the lower limit is 200 degrees centigrade to 500 degrees centigrade. Okay. So in between the 200 to 500 pyrite is stable. Okay. Sometimes what I mean is less than 200 degrees centigrade. Some researcher and some author says that below the 200 degrees centigrade also pyrite sometimes stable. Pyrite also stable at the epithermal condition. Because is a 550 is a very low temperature. 50 is not possible. The some the researchers say 200 below or no, approximately 150 to 200. You can say. So at this particular temperature, pyrite is stable. Yeah, pyrite is FeS2, right? The iron sulfide mineral. Iron sulfide mineral. Why the pyrite and pyrrhotite is so much important in this particular part, copper nickel sulfide deposit? Because these are the sulfur associated with the mineral. Okay? So this is almost an, let's say, the copper nickel sulfide deposit, sulfide deposit comes from the, ठीक है, sulfur rich magma, comes from the sulfur rich magma. Okay, the process is very simple. The process is because these are all the like magmatic processes. Okay, so when the magma has some like copper, okay, maybe copper nickel sulfur rich magma is there, right? When it crystallizes or when it cools, gradually the crystallization happen. ठीक है, तो कुछ कुछ crystal form बनेगा. ये जो क्रिस्टल बनेगा, it will not give to only sulfur rich melt, right? So it will gives to the silicate melt also, है ना, silicate melt भी देगा और some portion the sulfur melt भी देगा. So these sulfur melt is gradually what happens is it's separated out, ठीक है, it's separated out from the silicate melt due to the liquid immiscibility. ठीक है, gradually I will discuss more about this, how that sulfur genesis is happening, and how the sulfur that particular liquid comes from, where it comes from. Actually, all the sulfur deposit or all the sulfide deposit comes from the source is the upper mantle, है ना? Source is upper mantle. The source is because upper mantle, what happens is upper mantle contains a lot of sulfur, है ना? Upper mantle contains a lot of sulfur, so that's why all the sulfide type of ore deposit comes from the upper mantle condition. Okay, so gradually I will discuss about how the genesis is happening, what is the different type of deposit is associated with the copper nickel sulfide deposit. ठीक है, क्या क्या मिनरल assemblage होगा, ठीक है, कौन सा टिपिकल मिनरल और मेटल इसके साथ डिपोजिट होगा, उसको मैं डिस्कस करूंगा ग्रेजुअली. ठीक है, सो दिस इज ऑल अबाउट पीजी डिपोजिट. ठीक है, पीजी डिपोजिट मैं क्यों ऐड किया हूं, आई वांट टू से मेक नोट्स दिस वे, इधर भी वन पेज, है ना, इधर भी टू पेजेस और थ्री पेज, इसके हिसाब से आपको बनाना है. बिकॉज इन जीएसआई व्हाट हैपेंस इज समटाइम्स gives the PG deposit in the 5 mark question, sometimes 10, sometimes 15. So at least PG deposit आपको 3 पेज के अंदर लिखना पड़ेगा आपको, इंक्लूडिंग सम डायग्राम. यहाँ पे डायग्राम नहीं है, इंक्लूडिंग सम डायग्राम और लाइक सम रॉक सैंपल, जैसे क्रॉस सेक्शन पे दिखा दिया, तो दिस इज एन ऑफ द साइट दैट पोस्टेड पीजी डिपोजिट. ठीक है, सो पीजी डिपोजिट हम डिस्कस किए थे, फिर भी मैं रिवाइज कर रहा हूँ, राइट. सो इट इंक्लूड्स द पीडी सुपर ग्रुप, राइट, और iridium. So this is the iridium, soft type is iridium, or it associated with the palladium, pt, है ना, pt, pd and radius. These are the two types of PG. ठीक है, we discussed that is it is also associated with the ultramafic complexes, है ना, either be the chromite के साथ डिपोजिट होगा. सो अगर क्रोमाइट के साथ डिपोजिट हो रहा है, दैट मींस व्हाट इज द होस्ट, दिस सिंपली ultramafic complex or ultramafic, any type of ultramafic rocks is hosted the PG deposit, है ना, और either be the chromite, either be copper nickel sulfide deposit. Okay ना, the sulfur comes from the copper and nickel that hosted the PG deposit. ठीक है, कॉपर निकल सल्फाइड टाइप ऑफ डिपोजिट. सो क्या क्या मेटल आपको मिलेगा, ओस्मियम मिलेगा, इरिडियम मिलेगा, सोडियम मिलेगा, रोडियम मिलेगा, पैलेडियम. ठीक है, सो दीज आर द मेटल एसोसिएटेड विद द पीजी डिपोजिट. यू कैन एक्सट्रैक्ट सच टाइप ऑफ मेटल फ्रॉम दिस ओर, है ना. सो दिस इज द जियोकेमिकली कोहेरेंट ग्रुप यू कैन राइट. ठीक है, आई ऑलरेडी हैव डिस्कस्ड द, यू कैन राइट द एग्जांपल आल्सो, राइट, example or distribution also, how the process is happening. Occurrence PG is virtually restricted to ultramafic rocks. ठीक है, almost majority will be the ultramafic rocks only. ठीक है, ये जो minor part है, the minor part goes to the copper and sulfide deposit. So this is a minor part. Major part will be the chromite part. Chromite is hosted the PG deposit. It will always be associated with the chromite deposit. ठीक है, so generally associated with the byproduct. ठीक है, so this you can write or make notes out of it. I just put like this is the reference note, right? You can write in your own way. I also uploaded that PPT of the PG deposit. You can write or you can refer to the book also. मैं आपको सेंड कर दिया था केसी मिश्रा बुक है, वहाँ पे go through the orthomagmatic PG deposit, right? Make some notes out of it. देखो कोई भी डिपोजिट पढ़ रहे हो ना, you can always remember there are a lot of things in the deposit that is not, maybe that is not required. अगर तुम if you open the book you can see there is PG deposit like 10 to 10 page, right? But that is not so much required. You out of those 15 page you can extract that what is the more important for the examination point of view and what to actually remember for the interview aspect. ठीक है, कोई कोई चीज एग्जामिनेशन एस्पेक्ट पे दिया होता है वो सही है, लेकिन वो इंटरव्यू एस्पेक्ट में मैटर नहीं करता है. इन इंटरव्यू आई हैव टू प्रेजेंट द होल द सिनेरियो. ठीक है, यू हैव टू say that like this way the whole the people is happening, right? You have to say. So let's complete this. So this is the all this you can PG deposit also stratiform some type of stratified chromite deposit के साथ भी आपको PG deposit मिलेगा. तो क्योंकि मैं उस दिन बता दिया था Buswell is always with the PG complex is there and 1/3 of the world PG product from the Buswell complex. ठीक है, so Buswell complexes for the ultramafic complexes or ultramafic Pluton, and this is associated with the chromite deposit, stratiform chromite deposit. And also you can get the PG sample is from there. Okay, so this is all about the copper and nickel sulfide deposit. ये note है, I have to put in the note this way. You can write or you can see कि अगर copper nickel sulfide deposit पढ़ रहे हो, so what are the major point for the copper and nickel sulfide deposit? है? So nickel, you know, nickel is the trace element, you know, right? Better trace element, or it is incompatible trace element. What do you mean by incompatible? That during the melting process, all the melt goes to the liquid phases. Liquid phases. And if it goes to the solid phases, then it is called the compatible element. Compatible element. From there, the compatible and incompatible concept, there is a KT value, equilibrium constant, or KT is the distribution coefficient. Distribution coefficient. We'll discuss gradually in the geochemistry also there. The distribution coefficient means the how the melt in the solid phase the redistributed, how the element, है ना, कोई particular element distributed in between the solid and the liquid, or in the melt, ठीक है, in the concentration of the solid of the any particular element, how it is distributed between the solid and liquid phase, right? Any particular element is distributed between the solid and liquid phase. So this is the KT, concentration of the solid upon the concentration of the liquid. So this is the important formula for the examination point of view. So nickel, you know, nickel comes from the upper metal, right? Upper metal is the ultramafic. Upper metal, FeMgH, है? So nickel is comes from the very upper metal source. So nickel, one of the metal which is depleted in the crust, but enriched in the metal, no? But enriched in the metal, because no, like metal is rich in the Fe and Mg composition. Okay, so magma generate from the, so magma, let me erase this. Let me erase this. So magma that is rich in sulfur, magma should be rich in sulfur, right? Magma that is should be rich in sulfur, because if it doesn't contain sulfur, how it is the get finally differentiated. Na? How it is differentiated from the original melt. So that's why all these magma that is rich in sulfur generate from the upper mantle. Generate from the upper mantle because the nickel is depleted in the crust. You cannot get the nickel metal in the crust. It enriched in the metal. Okay? And one more thing important is copper nickel is always associated with the PGE sometimes. This is minor deposit. Okay? Major deposit will be the chromite. You can get the PG mineralization. PG deposit क्यों नहीं बोल रहा हूँ because the deposit scale पे नहीं है PG. ठीक है? That's why we always say PG mineralization. PG mineralization, not PG deposit. In the interview, someone asks the PG why you will say the PG deposit. No, that is not the right approach or that is not the right literature for the PG platinum group. It is the elemental scale, right? You cannot get such the major deposit scale PG because it is associated with the either be chromite, with the ultramafic, ultra basic complexes is there, and the copper nickel sulfide. It is always associated either with copper nickel PGE, okay? You always say copper nickel PGE sulfide deposit, either we will say the chromite CrPGE deposit. ठीक है sometimes FeB iron के साथ भी आपको मिल रहा है ठीक है so thus the ultramafic and mafic rocks form from the mantle derived magma so magma derived from the mantle will be the source ठीक है the magma is generated from the mantle ठीक है tend to have the high nickel content so distribution restricted to the ultramafic lava or the intrusion either it is associated with the ultramafic lava or ultrabasic lava ठीक है लार्जेस्ट निकल डिपॉजिट इन द टू टाइप्स ठीक है आइदर भी सौदबरी पे है लार्जेस्ट निकल डिपॉजिट और कामबाल्दा पे कामबाल्दा इज इन द ऑस्ट्रेलिया विल डिस्कस ग्रेजुअली ठीक है ये जो सौदबरी कॉम्प्लेक्स है दिस इज द ग्रैंडस्टोन बेल्ट ठीक है you can from this Sudbury is the major contribution major contribution of the nickel deposit okay so one thing is the Sudbury one thing is the Kambal the major distribution part जो दिख रहा है so largest nickel deposit Sudbury पे भी है and the Sudbury is the associated with the Gabbroic association है ना यहाँ पे देखो so there are two type of copper nickel sulfide deposit either with the कोमैटेटिक एसोसिएशन ठीक है ये जो कोमैटेटिक एसोसिएशन आपको दिख रहा है दिस इज कॉल्ड द काम्बाल्दा टाइप एंड द गैब्रोइक एसोसिएशन it is associated with the gabbroic complexes intrusive or large layered complexes this is called Sudbury type so either the copper nickel sulfide deposit is two type one is the Sudbury type one is काम्बाल्दा टाइप द काम्बाल्दा टाइप जो कॉपर निकल सल्फाइड डिपॉजिट मिल रहा है आपको वहां पे द होस्ट इज द कोमाटाइट so this is the कोमाटाइट hosted the copper nickel sulfide deposit and the not only one कोमाटाइट always is you can find the कोमाटाइट ड्यूनाइट पेरिडोटाइट complexes ठीक है कोमाटाइट भी मिलेगा ड्यूनाइट भी मिलेगा so these are the like mineral assemblage or metal assemblage you can get in the काम्बाल्दा is in the Australia but in the Sudbury you can get in the जो आपका सडबरी कॉम्प्लेक्स है वो गैब्रो एसोसिएटेड है कोई बिलीव करता है so these are the Sudbury comes from the meteoric impacted due to the meteoric impacted nickel ore get finally differentiated away ठीक है due to meteoric impact and form the nickel deposit कोई बिलीव करता है and the some author says also that the Archean जो the type of pattern है because वहाँ पे pillow lava sometimes the cometite also there in the Archean time period in the Dharwar specifically. So someone says कि Dharwar पे भी आपको small type of deposit scale आपको निकल definitely will be मिलेगा वहाँ पे, ठीक है. But I don't think so there will be the most type of nickel deposit in the Dharwar. But author and researchers say, I don't know exactly, but let leave the like theory. But just remember कि Kambalda is associated with the chromatite association. That's why the maybe you can say something to Archean time. Archean पे आपको chromatite मिलेगा ना, and chromatite shows the spinning texture, ठीक है, needle से. So this is always associated with the ultramafic because like chromatite is the ultramafic. Chromatite is a higher partial melting, higher partial melting. So contains the MgO, ठीक है. तो this is all about, ये summary बता दिया मैंने, summary बता दिया, copper nickel sulfide deposit का summary बता दिया, ठीक है. One thing is the Salisbury complex, one thing is the, यहाँ पे देखो Salisbury complex is there, one thing, and the Kambalda which is in the Western Australia. So these are the major two types, ठीक है. One thing is the Salisbury type, one thing is Kambalda type. Kambalda का host rock क्या है, and what are the different type of minerals let's find in the Kambalda type, ठीक है. So I'll stop this part, and then in the next part I'll start from here because I want to give you in the part basis so that it will be easy for me and also easy for you. Okay, so hope so you like the summary part. Gradually I will discuss about in more detail of the copper nickel sulfide deposit, but in summary I will tell कि this is always be the magma generated from the upper mantle, the source the upper mantle, which is rich in sulfur, should be sulfur, because when the sulfur rich magma get differentiated out, or when the cooling start, it will form the either be silicate melt or it will be from the sulfide melt. ये जो sulfide melt आपको देगा, the concentration of the sulfide melt is very low, ठीक है. And the वही जो sulfide melt है आपको, ठीक है, वहाँ पे निकल कंसंट्रेट होगा, ठीक है, and finally वहाँ पे जाके निकल डिपोजिट आपको फॉर्म होगा. Right? So these are all the basic part, and you should write कि these are the basically two types. One thing is Salisbury type copper nickel sulfide deposit. One part is the Kambalda type, है ना, Salisbury which is associated with the gabbro. ठीक है, host rock is gabbro or ultra basic type of rock, and or the ultramafic rock is the Salisbury, or the ये जो हो गया आपका Kambalda type which is in Australia. These are the chromite associated or chromite dunite petrotite associated copper nickel sulfide deposit. So that's all. This is the summary. I will discuss in the next part in a detailed way. ठीक है, sulfur genesis क्या होता है, then how the magma forms, how the gradually the differentiated happening, and gradually I will discuss about in the more detail. Because यहाँ पे मैं आपको summary बता दिया कि ऐसे note करना, ठीक है. This is the main topic. अगर यही भी करके जाओ ना, so this is all about the copper nickel sulfide deposit idea. Okay, so that's all for this video. Hope so you like it. Thank you so much.